Warm greetings and good evening. Welcome back. Happy to connect, and we'll be starting with a drill from Madhavan for a few minutes. Thank you.
अभिषेकन में सभी मैं परम धाम निवासी श्रेष्ठ आत्मा हूँ। इस स्मृति के स्विच को ऑन करो और कोई भी स्मृति नहीं हो, कोई बुद्धि में हलचल नहीं हो। अचल
Welcome back. This word achal, that stability. I was thinking about yesterday when this idea, this positive universe, but if something happens in the drama of life, then we as if lose that stability. I was thinking of, they used to have this you've been framed, like candid camera. So the person would be going through some crazy experience, like the mannequin comes to life in a shop, or they just do silly games. But then they get a reaction, but then someone comes and says, it was just for fun. Usually they see the joke, and feels like knowledge is giving the soul this possibility to see the kind of the fun behind when he knows everyone is safe. Then the stability comes, that possibility. Everything is truly good. Everyone is lovely, loved, everything is positive, then we can let it be as it is meant to be. That was reminding me of some of yesterday. So it would be great to hear what's been alive for you. And meanwhile, welcoming Prashant back and forward to this evening. Thank you.
Thank you, and hello, and meet again. Let us create few more moments of silence and reminding that truth of everyone is immensely beautiful, positive, and eternal. Also invisible. Yesterday we used the word vichitra, beyond the painting. Chitra is like a picture or painting without any image. And we have the sight to see it, and game changes completely. Then we can see everything the right way up. Otherwise, we are seeing the world upside down. So in 1 second, we are changing this game. The invisible witness is conscious, is seeing the world. Thank you. So we'll come to our main reference image that helps us to position ourselves. Someone used the image of an hourglass. In an hourglass, you keep it in one position and whole sand goes on the other side. And then you turn it around, that whole sand goes in again on the one side. Something similar happens here in our journey. There is this spiral, and this spiral takes these souls in this different consciousness. Broadly, we call it ego consciousness or Ravan consciousness, but we get so entrenched that we constantly are feeding that lower consciousness. And right now, our effort is to turn it around and feed the higher consciousness. It is one side leads to the angel, other side leads to the demon. It is literally like that. If there is sometimes demonic behavior or demonic feelings, it is because of the consciousness. Someone has been going down the spiral. But the potential of everyone here is a race of angels. And angelic feelings, angelic attitudes, angelic thoughts, angelic life, godlike life. That is like a extraordinary. The race is like this, not one or two. Everyone is like this. Family. We use the word alokik rather than invisible. A nice translation of alokik is unearthly. And so we want to nourish that. That is where the meditation comes in. Just to touch that, what we discussed yesterday and experienced, when this invisible player is conscious, and he understands who he is, he's conscious, understands his world, and understands his complete independence from the story. Just like any actor, if we take the example of Sean Connery acting as James Bond, he's conscious. He knows his complete independence from the story of James Bond. That is just a stunt, and his world is separate. His feelings are not based upon the bad guys in the film. That is separate. He's acting in the story. But at the same time, he knows his world is completely separate from the story. He doesn't go home and worry about the bad guys. Same here. When this invisible prince is conscious, his world is with God, world with the family, and this eternal dimension, eternal reality. Imagine, we sometimes give this example. Say in your town, there's someone, and there is a person of light. Someone arrives and he's a person of light in your village or in your town. Will you be interested to go and see him? The person of light? You can answer. In your village, suddenly there is a person of light. Yes, everyone says that they all are going to see him. Will you be interested to go and see him?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. Now he says he's not from this world. He's not from this planet Earth. He is not even from Mars. He's beyond Mars. Now it is not just you, the scientists and NASA, they all will be interested to see this person from beyond this planet. Yeah. He says he's immortal. Any terrorist can come, bombs, machine guns, flood, nothing can happen to him. He's immortal. People can try anything. Doctors will be interested. They will all go there. He says he is from the family of God. He knows God. He is very close. He's loved by God, has company when he wants. He has company of God. And God is his friend and father. Now even Pope will be interested. He will come to your village to see this man who is from the family of God. He says he's forever happy, and he doesn't know anything inauspicious feelings. And if machine gun comes and bombs come, it doesn't worry him. So why would he be unhappy? He says he's forever happy, and he loves everyone. He loves you. That is his life, joy and love. Do you know anyone like that? Person of light who is like this? Do you know anyone? You can answer. Where have you seen anyone like this?
Someone written God is like this.
Okay. Do you know anyone else?
Yes, someone saying yes. Soul is like this. Our BK teachers, something. Daddy. Twinkle, twinkle, little star.
Yeah, this is
Daddy Gulzar is like this. Pure soul. Diddy.
you are like this. This is you. This is your story. You are that person of light. You are from the family of God. You are not from this planet. You are not from this galaxy. You are from beyond this whole thing, and you are immortal. And your nature is God-like nature. And this is only you, nothing else. It is not this plus something else. No, that is you. And this is the story of everyone. This God is made, you are made in the image of God. So God is like this, and you are also like this. This is like and now you are seeing this. Everyone is like this. And how amazing. Everyone is worthy of so much love and respect, and they are harmless, and we said childlike and godlike. That childlike, harmless, and no complications. They are loving and innocent, and they are godlike. They are not deceived. What we saw yesterday, they have not gone into that major confusion that what we see at the present time. We are seeing that scene of everyone, eternal scene. If everyone is like this and they are awake and conscious, that's any place is as good as who lives at that place. There can be palace, but if there are robbers there, you wouldn't like to go there. But in a small place, if there are noble people, you want to go there. Same here. This here is angelic family and God family. That's why it is a supreme region of joy, love, and a sense of belonging. You belong there. You feel you belong to them. You belong there. But it is also eternal. And no one can harm you. And everyone, you don't harm anyone. Those thoughts are not there. Those ideas are not there. That's why the word angel, inside out, under provocation, it doesn't change into something else. That is their nature, that is their life. So from there, if they are seeing this physical world, they are seeing that physical world as extra. Just as you may be watching some film, that film, the way it comes, you feel it's a nice film. In the film, there are bad guys. In the film, there is beginning, end, fire, flood. But they get prizes also. And the best film, they get titles and praise. So just because there is a dragon in it, it is not that everything is bad. It is a great film. Why you say it's a great film? Because you are seeing the bigger map. You are seeing the film as a film. It is extra. And that film and that story cannot harm anyone. It was a joke. That's why they get prizes. They're a bad guy, but still they get a prize also, because it was a joke and done well. Same here. sensible player, this invisible player who is sensible, he finds everything is perfect. It is not everything is nice, everything is perfect. This is the life he experiences. You want to add anything? You want to say anything?
While others are thinking, still find this everything is perfect useful as a benchmark, but not always seeing how it is really challenging, isn't it? The clarity when we say drama, because as a drama it's perfect, but when there's injustice, and it can be transferred to, you feel everyone should receive the clarity of knowledge, and then when problems come, that feels you get sucked into some. So yeah, the having a philosophy to manage it is very necessary. We do feel entertained in a drama. There's one comment.
I just want to say, so far we have just revised what we discussed yesterday. And just a reason why this is a positive word. But the image we gave, if in your town someone comes with one who is made of light, and one who is immortal, and one who is from another world, everyone would be interested to see him. And then we said, this is our story. Everyone is being of light, is immortal and from the family of God, and is from another world beyond this planet, beyond this physical world. His nature is of love and joy. It is extraordinary truth of this, everyone. In fact, it is beyond belief. I feel, after all these experiences, feeling is it is beyond belief that something like this really exists, and that too it is eternal, and we are involved. I am involved in this. This is our truth. It appears, is it really real? This kind of feeling. And from there we are seeing this physical world as a story. So when there are stories, if you go to your stories also, the fox comes and the cat comes, and fox runs away, fox frightens the cat, and someone eats lion, lion eats something else, lamb. The stories, all kinds of stories are there. We don't say this story, this is bad story, and I need to tolerate it. No, we see the story as story, and you are amused by that. And jokes are like this. You see some bad guy to frighten someone, then it's a joke. If it is just everyone nice and smiling, then you don't say it is a joke. When they do this candid camera, they don't say everybody is eating cakes. Then it is not. They won't show it on television. They show something different. Then it becomes a joke. Those who can handle jokes, then you show them the joke. If they can't handle, don't show them Laurel and Hardy. If they are going to get upset, if they can handle it, they show. So here you are expected to be sensible, not to have some syndrome. Nature wants us to be immensely sensible, who can take the jokes. And then if you can take the jokes, you get prizes also in this. This is the secret. I was going to come to this other message. When we are deceived in this story world, we come in the drama, act in this drama. And when we are deceived and complete ego is taking over, then our life, from the first second, life becomes one that is upside down. That story has become so serious for us. It is not just a story, it is all our world, life. And so the emotions that come now are of complaint. You got something, why someone, why this Laurel Hardy, why he broke this, why he pushed someone. You are complaining about the film joke that was going on. You are concerned. What will happen next? Will he do the same thing again? You are concerned. You are questioning. He promised one thing. Why is he doing this? So you are having questions. You are having comparisons. Why is he doing this to one? Why not to another? There is comparison. You may be in competition also. What else? You can find yourselves craving for things. Why he's given this cake and I also need this cake and blah blah blah. He is given a hat. I also need this. Why I am given a smaller hat? You are craving for anything, and you are, some situation can come. You are ready to cry. Whole life is of confusion. Anything else? Do you want to add anything else? We broadly use the word vices, and then in English, the word used vice, and Baba uses the word vikar. Vikar is not just five, greed, arrogance, lust. These are the main ones. What you see, this list here, this is all life of vice. Some jealousy comes sometimes, this comparison and all can lead to jealousy. That is also vice. But just you are just unhappy about things. You feel something should have been different in the story. Someone should not have gone just like that. Something should have been different in the story. All along we said at the beginning and yesterday also, this is not our world. The invisible player who is conscious, he knows that this is not our world. It's a foreign world. Just like you may go to North Korea, they don't commit anything. Whether you will get a food there or not, they don't. It is a foreign world. They allowed you to come, that itself is a favor. So it's a foreign world. It's a fictional world. It's a story world. It's a temporary world. It is a gross world. This is the way it is. So he is observing it, but it is fine. He has no problem with it. Why he has no problem with it? Because he has got his world. He's very happy his world. We said he's a prince. His life with God and life of immortality, life of joy. Why does he need anything from this foreign world? So he goes to the foreign world, maybe as a guest observer, vulnerable guest, and he is happy to come out of it when required. He's out. But now here, he goes there and he's complaining about things. Started to complain. He's concerned. Why is this happening? Why someone is doing this? He's questioning, sitting there. Why? Who? He's comparing. He's craving for things. He, in a foreign world, he's craving as if he has got right there. He's in competition because all of this, first thing is he's confused. That's why he crossed the line. crying as if someone has deprived him of something. He's a prince and he is still the prince. All this is a life of vice. And we said, he feels things should have been slightly different. This is not right. It should have been something different. This kind of feelings. Anything. It can be in life or your life or some health, illness, as if something should be different. The answer all along, we are comparing it. We need to see the contrast in ourselves. And what is the contrast? What is the perspective of the soul? One who is conscious, how does he see it? He is in his sublime, his world is eternal. He doesn't need to, not the slightest. He's never a victim, never a beggar, never a slave. Once he crosses the line, his life is of slave and a beggar and a victim. When we use the language of sanskaras, we change the sanskaras. In essence, we want to change the sanskaras of the beggar, victim, and the slave. Once we cross the line, that is what takes over completely. Different manifestation. Beggar is not just beggar. Beggar will also be comparing things. Beggar will also be upset about things, not getting the big coin. So beggar syndrome. It is also nice for us to see this because now you get an idea. When we say this life of this angel, invisible player is the invisible prince, he's the invisible angel. His life is of peace. And then the word peace is used a lot. We say Om Shanti and peace and peace. People get peace prizes. What is the peace of the invisible player, one who is conscious? His peace is when there is none of this. Undercurrents are not of concern or question. Today in the Murli we heard, you are able to put a full stop in a second. That is the sign of your yogi life. Many things happen. Can you put a full stop in a second? So if there is some undercurrent of something, questions there, or trauma, there is some kind of a trauma somewhere, or you are craving for something. Right now you are in Baba's room and all, but if there is some undercurrent of you want something, you are comparing with something, you are disappointed about something, then that is different. That is not Om Shanti. Om Shanti is when the invisible player has woken up. He has understood the story nature of it. Wow, it is a Laurel and Hardy joke. He is not still continues with his, why Hardy behaved like this and why Laurel said this. No, it is like a joke. Once he understood it, there is zero trauma, zero complaint, zero questions, zero disappointments, nothing to cry for, nothing to crave for. None of those things. Freedom, that is the real freedom. You are free from the beggar and free from the victim and whole lot. That demon, you are free from the demon. It may be for 1 minute, but waking up means waking up. You know your own positive nature. Positive universe, we know to the extent we know our own greatness, experience the greatness. Not a long process. It is like as we will create time for practice. but it is like a straightforward. During this time, to go for 100%, we say paras, use 100% paras. If we are saying this is a story, it is a story, 100%. Find out, is it yes or no? Is it as irrelevant as Laurel and Hardy story? This story here, where Prashant is talking, is it as irrelevant as Laurel and Hardy? Ask, is it yes or no? And if it is yes, then let us move on. Let us see it as a story. Even for 1 minute, 5 minutes, see everything of today and past history. And you will find there is zero complaint, zero trauma. Not just in the present, in the past, whole thing you become free from. That's why, that you discover the positive mind. Yeah, you want to add anything? Say anything?
Support from here. I love this challenging the intellect with this image of the person of light. It's like fun, but also it awakens something. And then this aspect, if it's really a story, I like to build the building blocks from the guest. It's like definitely we guess, right? Not got planned to stay, but guest has primary, like you have a place and we will have reference point for that piece. It's not promised here, so it's like sometimes need to take the baby steps and then really a story. So it really challenges I sense in myself this pata intellect. It's like, oh yeah, and building on it and really allowing the fullness. I wanted you to share a bit about, if it's possible, because you say it's a second awakening, is you wake up. That's one thing, but then it takes time aspect. So there's awakening and then there's the transformation. Would you like to speak a bit on that?
Sure. Now, there are a few factors. One is the ego is there. It is created over a long period of time. We have been feeding it day in, day out, different ego. And they will not just disappear in one day. We might as well accept it. And not only that, they will block your meditation practices. Real meditation is blocked by ego. Because if you are truly soul conscious, the ego will suffocate during those seconds, minutes. So most of the time, effort is ego-based effort. And it becomes a sort of a nice Brahmin life, but it becomes an ego-based effort that is going on. And you will be clever in bypassing the ego, to even just to get a glimpse of this soul. That is why some language that is used, and this is our immediate aim, just to bypass the ego. We are not trying to remove ego. We are not removing Ravan in the first day, but let me see beyond this ego, the life of the soul and the experience of soul consciousness. Soul-based effort rather than ego-based effort. 1 minute. And then for that we have spoken. Start from the sky. Start from the soul. Don't start from Mr. Harry making effort, but start from the soul. That gives you the chance to experience the soul awareness. And that is the big thing. And you won't be able to stay in that forever. Baba also says, even if you do it for 24 hours like this, Baba says you will be karmatit. This sort of statements Baba has made. Because ego will interrupt. But that is fine. You are understanding it, but you managed for 1 minute. Congratulate yourself for that 1 minute. During that 1 minute, bring quality. During that 1 minute, see it at 100%. And so that is what gives you the experience. And experience becomes an authority. In today's Murli, Maina Baba said, give course of experience. Give others the experience. How will give others the experience? If I have experienced, then it is possible to give others the experience. So this is a nice process. How to come in the one is just to have the words, soul is love, soul is peace, soul is, sometimes it becomes like so fast commentary, words are spoken. But in this case, you are bypassing the ego and invisible actor there, invisible player. His perspective, you see, and everything will follow. The whole experience will follow. Aim for 100%. You are bypassing ego, not mixing with Laurel and Hardy. Laurel and Hardy is separate. Prashant is part of that Laurel and Hardy script. That is not the life of the soul. Soul is separate. And we are using the word invisible player. See the perspective of the invisible player. And that will follow. You want to add anything? Is that helpful?
Just thinking about how it is a little dangerous to grow the ego in the ego-based effort, only to have to unpick it. Like if anyone's done knitting, and you miss a stitch, and you just have to go back and unpick. But yeah, this at least there's a clean reference point. Someone has written these days, it appears ego-based effort is paying off really well for some. I think it's just a comment, but yeah.
You may get a reward in the story. That is not the reward we are looking for. We want the real, the wisest person is the one who experiences the eternal prize. And for that, we have to bypass the ego. We have to remove ego for that. So let us come in some minutes of experience. And all that we are doing, we are starting with the best sight, best intellect, and light. We all have it, we just need to use it. And when we are doing this, it absolutely favors the soul. Darkness, confusion favors the ego. So in this best light, best intellect, we are able to see something that is temporary as temporary. Whether it is of 5 minutes or 5 years, 500 years, it is temporary. We can see it. If it is not our world, it is not our world. We can see it in full light. The foreign world, sure. We got to exit without our permission. So how can it be my world? And we are seeing that as a fictional world. Great story. No different to Laurel and Hardy performance. It's a performance story. In this full light, the invisible player is conscious. It favors him. He is able to see himself in the image of a tiny point. He finds it is normal to be that point, conscious, and the presence, invisible presence, but an observer. That's why he is also the witness. He can see the story and see Laurel and Hardy, but knows it is completely separate. He is not part of that. He can see it. Just as when you are watching Laurel and Hardy, you know you are not part of it. Suddenly the film finishes, it finishes. Same way here, the invisible witness, he understands his 100% independence from this film, big film, three-dimensional performance going on all around. And this gathering, Prashant, is all within that film. At the same time, the invisible witness sees him separate. He knows, for him, he knows his world is that supreme sky. That appears normal for him to belong to that supreme home, to belong to that family of angelic souls. That appears normal for him. He knows this bond is eternal. These are the ones whom we knew for eternity. To belong to God, to be loved by God, it appears normal for him. That is the region from where he comes. He feels worthy to have the company of God. Who feels this? The invisible player. Not Harry, not Hardy, not Laurel. It is the invisible player, completely separate. Life is separate. And his world, no one can change. His world is of celebration, eternal celebration. His life is of joy and love. This world is beyond harm. No one can interfere, no one can change, no one can deprive him, no one can deny him of anything. Understands? Everyone is lucky. This is truth of everyone. That's why silent celebration, silent intoxication. The world of disbelief, he knows this. And as was said, the best words from the dictionary need to be used to describe this. Whether you use the word divine and noble and the supreme and the sublime, the best words in any language from any dictionary need to be used to describe this reality. There's nothing higher than this. Such is the truth. We're talking about God and angelic family and divine personalities. That to eternal. Nothing comes to a halt. And your own life with God in the world of love and worthiness. And it is a region of truth. This is not just a meditation experience for one who is conscious. This is his world, it is truth. Eternally it exists. And now he sees the great story Who sees? The invisible player is seeing this great story as a story. When we are seeing with this big map, big scale, then story appears a perfect story. His world is perfection, and story as story is also grand. No complaints. His life, conscious, subconscious, his life is of peace and contentment and joy and love, innocence. That's why viceless, egoless. That is he doesn't need to go in that direction. He is bodiless. And if God doesn't love this, who else will God love? That's why there is that silent worthiness and right on this company of God, love from God. It is a world of silent respect and greatness. Everyone's greatness, everyone's truth. Here we look into the distance as we prepare to visit the physical world. Our only attention is we hold on to this world of light. We hold on to the best sight, best intellect. Truth remains. The truth is the same forever. We just don't want to slide into the dark zone. Yeah, you would like to add anything, say anything? Yesterday I promised we will talk about the subject of awareness. I will touch that subject, but if you want to add anything.
The thing that stood out here is innocence. And sometimes it's said you can afford to be innocent. Now we're looking at what is normal for the immortal soul, which they're safe, so they can afford to be innocent. And then in contrast, this sanskara, as you were mentioning, of the beggar or the victim, and so complicated. One area is like the psychology of wanting to control, and it's because of negative or insecure, like you want to avoid failure. So sometimes the negative preoccupation is because of the premise of insecurity. So that manifests in many complicated ways. And also we've normalized, the body consciousness has normalized this. So it's like we actually bond through negativity. And so it's so good to see what is normal, natural, original, eternal, to reprogram all of this various options of the beggar and the victim. Question: in summary, what is it that we need to awaken even for 1 minute?
What is it? What is the question?
we need? What is it that we need to awaken even for 1 minute? I don't know if it's meaning what is being awoken or what is it we need to have, maybe knowledge wise. Not sure, maybe you can clarify in the question. I took it that what is the knowledge we need to awaken?
We said in light, in the darkness, it becomes ego-based effort. It favors ego. So here they bring full light. In full light, we can see clearly, especially story, we can see story as story. And it's like, for example, if someone really understands Laurel and Hardy, it is a joke, then his attitude will be different. If he thinks this may be real, there's confusion, then he may start crying also. Or as was said, he may complain or get angry. But when he understands this is a performance and joke, then his reactions are different. So here, in full light, we win. So let us come to the subject of awareness. There's a nice word in English also. And it sort of tells us that our faculty, mind, and the soul, it does many functions, different functions. Amazing, this soul. For example, soul has a function of thought. This is something we know. We may use the word mind here, broadly. Soul has a function of emotions. That is another function. Soul has a function of attitude. How do you, what is, do you want to tell me more? What is attitude? If someone asks you, what do you mean by attitude? If someone asks you, what will be your answer?
The behavior, someone's saying, it's your approach, your dominant feelings.
Feelings are there's still another word, feeling. There is emotion, feeling. That is another. So is there any other meaning behind attitude when we use the word attitude?
Habit.
Habit is still another word, another function.
Positioning.
Yeah, positioning is a nice word to describe. What is my position towards someone? So this function is not the same as emotion. It is not the same as thought. But I have a pre-arranged, a consistent positioning towards someone, then we can call it a attitude. For example, someone has told me this person is a robber. It is right or wrong, that is different. Someone tells me this person is a robber. Another person tells me he's a robber. The next time I see him, my positioning, the way I'm not saying anything, I'm not acting anything, but my positioning towards him is that he is a robber. So whatever he says, whatever he does, I'm interpreting it. I will hear it through those glasses. I will not immediately listen to it or accept it because it is going through this filter of my attitude. So I can have this attitude towards a nation, some country, this the people are bad, this kind of attitude, for whatever reason. It can be the family, some person, ancestor, someone did something to your family. That whole family with certain name, you have an attitude of some kind. So we can have attitude towards food items, and it can even create a reaction. Body gets into a certain reaction because you got a certain attitude towards it. That is impure food, bit like that. Certain thing is impure, and then that attitude reacts in a certain way. I'm not at this point, I'm not saying right or wrong. We are more discussing about the function of attitude. It can be positive. If someone can tell you so and so is so amazing, he sacrificed his life for poor people, and he scored 200 runs in the last test match. So you say, wow, so next time you see him, your attitude is you want to worship this person. Especially if you are a cricket fan. It's right or wrong, but your attitudes are your positioning that gives you an idea. So this attention is another function. Attention is you can direct. It is almost like a torch. You can direct your attention somewhere. So there are 10 things going on around you, but your attention will be at one place. You are one person. You are listening to that person, even though there's lots of chatter going on. Everyone is talking, but you are listening to one. Or you are having attention. Right now, there are many around me here, but my attention is, I'm thinking about something else, trying to solve some situation. My attention is going there. And that your attention may go to another place. You are thinking of what happened last month when you were in another town, or when you were with your friend. Your attention is like a torch. Your attention takes you there almost. It is like it connects you to the place. So that is another function. Now that all brings us to this function of awareness. Awareness is another function. Awareness is not conscious. Emotions and many things are conscious. I can see the emotion, I can see the anger, I can see. Awareness is not as blatant, but it's a deeper function. So you have the awareness of which city you belong to. Right now, which city you are in, you have awareness of that. So someone is brought to the hospital. He had a head injury. He is brought to the hospital. And so doctors want to know how bad is his head injury. So doctor will ask him, which city are you in? Which is the city? And they may answer correctly. They say, I'm in such city. And they may ask him, what time you think it is now? And they tell you what time it is. Now, what is interesting is actively he was not thinking of the city at all. And actively he was not thinking of the time at all. But at the same time, there was this in the background, this function is going on. He has the awareness of he being in a certain city. He has the awareness of this is a certain, maybe morning time, evening time, maybe afternoon, but he has sort of awareness of the time. He has awareness of his name. He has awareness of the posture of the body. So these different awareness are there, and they are going on in the background. And so this awareness influences other functions, including attitude. And that is awareness influences your decision. If you are buying a train ticket, you know which city you belong to. That's why you want to buy a ticket from there to other place. That awareness is there. In certain brain injuries, we lose awareness. They say, I don't know which city I'm in, or they tell you wrong name. It can create an abnormal awareness. So this is a function, awareness. And Baba deals with the function of awareness. Now, within the awareness, there is still another kind of awareness. And this is very relevant to us. Awareness of who I am. Just like there's awareness of the city, awareness of the time, awareness of the posture of the body. So in the same way, there is awareness of who I am. That is another function going on. And this is good. This has gone abnormal, during the Copper Age and Iron Age. Just like someone with abnormal, some head injury, he says, I'm in New York, or when he is in some village somewhere else. It can be abnormal awareness. In the same way here, who I am. At present, the people have got a wrong awareness, abnormal. That is what we call ego. Yesterday we used the word false ego. All these identities, they are bizarre to get into such a level where you are in that foreign world. Yeah, you are coming in that foreign world. You don't even have right to stay there. You can be out without your permission. And in this confusion, he not only starts building fence and saying that this is all mine, he uses the word I. So if you ask him, who are you? He says, I am Mr. Harry. I am this body. This is my job. This is me. He defines himself, full of 100% confident about it, unquestioned. If you tell him you are a soul, he may even argue with you. So it is, Baba uses the word vismriti, so it is abnormal, that the whole thing has gone into funny situation. Stubbornly he stays in this. That is what the false ego is. Once you have given birth to it, it is stubborn. This Ravan stubbornness comes and doesn't want to change. This is what the battle is of all the spiritual effort makers, to deal with this Ravan who is stubbornly in that smriti. You tell others we are souls, but Ravan is still hanging on there, me. And he says, okay, I am this Harry, I'm going to create time in meditation. I'm going to stay in 8 hours bhakti. me, Harry. I'm going to become more spiritual, Harry. So this is all ego-based effort in an abnormal smriti. What the big success would be to shift the smriti, where the invisible soul, you feel that is you. That is our, all the effort is that. It is not just seeing the soul, anyone can see the soul. Many have got visions of the soul also, or think of the soul. That is not enough. This feeling of this tiny point is me, that smriti has to shift. Smriti has to change. They should feel, yes, I'm totally independent of that Harry. Harry is in the film and drama, it is a stunt. And you are feeling that invisible observer, that is you. And you die, someone says, oh, Harry is so good, Harry has got such a beautiful nose, Harry did something so well. You don't feel flattered by it. Then you are in a wrong Smriti. If you are able to be the observer, hear all these things, not saying, but Harry is going to be hanged, and you are aware of the story, and you don't say how, why it is me, unfair. This kind of feeling comes, then you are in the wrong Smriti. Big example, extreme.
That was a bit shocking, but yes, I mean that's it. You might see if you can do anything, but there's not the beggar. That's what he's saying under any situation. Yeah.
Test of the Smriti. But the Baba used this broader, function in that Murli that we heard. I think it was yesterday. The word Smriti Baba used many times, more than 30 times. And Baba is as if reminding us, you were from that sky. You are the one who are immortal. You are from the family of God. And then you came down here. You were deities at one time, and you then came into Ravan's world. And this is a drama. This is a story. This is a performance. And you are the actors behind this. It is like someone who is zombie is brought back into Smriti. When he crosses the line, he's a zombie. To believe that he's Mr. Harry, that is a bizarre situation. So he's reminded you are. So he wakes up and then he drifts back into zombie state. But that's fine. Our process of awakening has started. If we see the contrast, process of awakening has started. Good to know what we are aiming for. Our aim is not just nice knowledge. We hear the Murli, run, go back. We did the job, some meditation, some traffic control. Not the success is the shift of Smriti. That is required. Today, Baba spoke about Dharmaraj and, that we have to bring about change before it is too late. What change? Shift of Smriti. That is what need to change. That invisible witness, invisible traveler, and it is his life, it is his journey, and that is all that matters. Prashant is just along with everyone else, Laurel Hardy. It is one of the script. If there is too much feeling of him as if it matters, that is all false Smriti. That is Ravan, really. Ravan is the one who is in that obsessed with the identity there. Here you are coming in the true Smriti and observing it. You want to add anything? Say anything?
Just a thought from here that this function makes the effort precise and simple because of it being the root of all those other aspects. but you mentioned it's subtle, so you don't know and not actively thinking where you are, who you are, but it's a function. So I feel the clue can be what is the vision, what is the attitude you get to understand behind, and also how we see someone else, for example. And we seeing the soul, are we focused on the part? Which aspect of the part we get to see what's important? And there we know the Smriti. And it's the not so much watching and observing the thoughts, but seeing who is the thinker. And the fascinating thing is it changes quickly. So when you bring awareness, it's a shift. And maybe final thought is the ego-based is another Smriti. So that's the sticky one, isn't it? That the clean, fresh, invisible traveler, totally different from, in this case, the character of Sarah, has a huge relief for the soul because there's no vibration of insecurity. But if it's like effort-making Sarah, then it's not a progress stage. It just has another form of another kind of body consciousness. And the comments here, building the awareness second by second, wherever you are, observe the self and observe the responses. And having awareness of the far-sighted intellect option.
Now here I want to just show another, and why we said this function of awareness, and especially awareness of who I am, Smriti. That is deeper function. That is not visible. You don't all the time say I, but it is, as I said, it is a background function that is going on. But it influences all the other functions. That's why it is like a king of the various things. So based upon who I am, then there is a reaction in my attitude. It matters to me. And I was very surprised when I sort of noticed I came into the world of elections and all. And when I'm meeting people or hearing people, 100% of the voters, they think about themselves. That's what I noticed. They think which party will help him. That is such personal perspective. And whichever is the I, that takes a decision. Which I is dominant in him. So also here, when you are in the soul awareness, your attitude will be of one kind. How you see others, that will be different. When you are soul, when you identify yourselves based upon a religion, you will see others differently. Your attitude will be different. Your attitude is a reflection of which Smriti you are in. It also affects your emotions. That's why one who is soul conscious, he will be in bliss in all situations. Because his game is different. He is there for giving. In the Baba's life, giving. Everyone is lovely and everyone is holy. They should experience their best. This kind of a different, unlimited perspective. Very natural for one who is soul conscious. In all the other identities, they are different. Your emotions will be based upon what others said, what others did, and your thoughts will be affected by this Smriti. Your actions will be affected by this Smriti. So everything changes, game changes. Your sanskars are affected by this. Someone says, I want to change sanskara. Some deep sanskaras, I want to change sanskara. The root of sanskaras is identity, Smriti. Without change of Smriti, you can't change sanskaras. You can temporarily suppress them. You can pretend to be all kind and nice. One can be very good, and get a prize in action, dramatics, very kind and loving and holy. But the real change will happen only when Smriti is right. If the false Smriti are removed and it is soul Smriti, then your sanskaras. I wrote here sank, sanskars. So sanskaras will change if you bring in the soul awareness. So this is like a big secret. Some say it, there are many institutions and many companies, many schools, they want their change their character of their students. They want to change character of their staff. They know it is a good thing. Many would like to help change character of their country, citizens. How? The soul smriti has to come. Soul knows he is immortal and he's safe and he's not a victim. In that smriti, everything else changes. We don't need to work on every other thing individually. We don't need to say, I should have a different attitude here, I should have different feelings, emotions, this is wrong, this sanskar is wrong, this sanskar. Change the captain of the team, and you change the whole team.
Could maybe write the word Smriti, some are asking. Spelling.
Sure. Are you asking me to write it in Hindi?
No, but it's also nice.
I hope that is right. No, it is okay. Just happy if you want to have a break and rooms. For any questions on this, any of the subjects we discussed.
No questions. There was one comment that we need courage to bypass ego. I don't know if you have any comments on that.
It is nice way to mention it, because ego is stubborn and ego will oppose you in any change, any serious effort. Ego will oppose you. So you need courage in this. But we have courage. And in all of these things, moment you bring it, courage brings more courage. We have to start with. And you get results, and it brings more. It becomes easy. It is only in the first step. Then the experience, and then it becomes fun. You want to come back to it again. Once the ego becomes smaller, he opposes less. And it is a big ego will have bigger opposition.
The definition of Smriti is awareness of who I am.
That is the way we use it. Awareness is a much broader word for, as we saw, for different other awareness. But Smriti, we like to limit it to the Smriti of I, rather than making it too general.
So for the rooms, do you have a
You just want to add one more. In the Lokik world, this is not questioned. This smriti of who I am, that is not questioned, because it appears all normal. Body conscious smriti, that is normal. But because Baba is bringing this insight into soul conscious, that's why it becomes a very special function and such an important function for us. And that's why we are keeping that word, not to translate it into awareness, then it becomes more general, but keeping it smriti, we understand what Baba is meaning. Question. How to make this positive self, and that is what we emphasized so far. How to make it natural. One is experience it, and how to make it natural. What can we do to grow in that positive self, the true self, experiencing the positive.
yeah? Okay, put it in the chat how to experience his positive self and make it natural.
Yeah.
Natural and normal. So we'll create this time as always, around 10 minutes, and enjoy. We'll see you back soon. Thank you. You hope you had enough time. If not, do feel free to continue in the chat. Let's create a minute together before we continue. You. Like to invite Yoshita, who's joining us from Netherlands. Most of you, I think, may have met and spoken together in the rooms. Lovely to have your sharing with all of us. Good evening.
I enjoyed being in the room, and it's so nice to feel the equality and brotherhood. And it does need a bit of courage to share, because I don't know if I remember what others said, but I was struck by how the to be positive and not to, even if I slip into irritation or smitty shifts, not to get angry with myself or yeah, disencouraged, but to keep going and to be positive. And then the other vision came up from Paolo. She said it's nice to be such an observer of nature. You can see how you're not part of the animal world or the plant world, so it makes it easier to think of yourself as an observer and also shift to I am an angel. And another sister shared it's so this soul consciousness and the drive to also share that with brothers, with yeah. And I just enjoy seeing each other's vision and being part of a whole. Yeah, it's like magic. And what to make it natural, that's such an effort, but also when you experience it's natural, it makes so happy and you can be so content. Yeah. I hope it's short what we share.
It's lovely. Thank you. Got the feeling of it as well, and feels like, you know, taking off the beginning bit, there's the effort, but once you get going and yeah, the fun. Equality is so lovely. I often feel this word is a good reference point because every soul is so great. And it's what stood out in that story of the person of light. It kind of created a little wonder. And it's like, who is like that? So I wrote, Daddy, no, you. Everyone. Thank you for sharing. And great to hear from others also. Please feel free to express. We're going to see if Prashant would like to continue now.
Hello. Since we got a little time, let us come to the experience. And after this, we are having a transmission. Is that right? Yeah. And during this time, if you have to close eyes, that is fine. Even I might not leave the camera on myself. Concentration is more important and experience is more important. Simple practice. And it may be a few minutes, some 5 minutes. And during this time, we see the soul as an actor. And we are in this extraordinary big stage performance. Let us take an example of John acting in a school drama. He acts as King Henry in the school drama. When John returns to the home of Mummy and Daddy, he comes as John. He doesn't take King Henry with him. He may completely forget about the drama. He is in his home. So right now, this invisible actor chooses to step behind this drama, come back home. And in a second, we come to that expanse. And he's so happy to experience the silence of this world. Just across on the stage, there is so much going on, so much sound, non-stop. And just in his world, it is a world of complete silence. So happy to experience the simplicity of this world. Just across on the stage, there is so much clutter and so much expansion which you need for the drama. But behind, there is complete simplicity. On the stage, you need the crowns and the hats and the beards and the spears. You don't need any of these things in the home, not even the bodies. They're like tiny points, conscious living beings. Complete simplicity, no clutter. He's so happy to experience the sweetness of this world, the sweetness of the family. They all are like these tiny stars. This is the true family. These are the ones whom we know for eternity. Old friends, old relations, they're all noble and all divine. They need nothing from anyone. Harmless, innocent, childlike. Sense of belonging here. So relaxed to be with this true family, noble and loving family. Experiencing the sweetness of this true family. He's so happy to experience the security of this world. This world is eternal and world beyond harm, forever beyond harm. Just across on the stage, every episode comes to an end. That stage is not made for security. As here, he experiences absolute security. He knows all are safe, that this world is safe. He's so happy to experience the solitude of this world. Everyone is here. The whole family. And in the midst of many, there is complete solitude. True solitude is here, also here. He's so happy to experience the company of the Supreme Friend, God. In this world. He is also, like others, in the image of a tiny point. Here is the one who is the wisest and the holiest and loveliest. Why is he wisest? Not because of the part he plays of knowledge. He does play the part of God. The memorials everywhere. He is remembered and worshipped everywhere. Through the ages, he plays such a hero part on the stage. Frees everyone from degradation, leads heaven. He plays that part of knowledge. But in himself, in this home, he sees himself as a point. He doesn't mix his life with the part. Not even the slightest. Just as John, who plays the part of King Henry, he doesn't mix his life with the part. So also here, his supreme friend, he plays this big part, hero part. But in himself, he doesn't mix his truth with the fiction, not even the slightest. He sees himself as a point with full self-respect. He sees himself as everyone else. He is very happy to belong here. Fully having the intoxication of the truth. This is what makes him knowledgeful. It is not just information, but he is embodiment, not to be deceived. We realize truth is immensely beautiful. As this invisible actor continues on his journey, comes back on the stage and comes into the next scene of the performance, drama. He comes on the stage with enthusiasm and joy and fun. Because he now knows the world behind. He knows what it means to be sensible, to come on the stage, to play the part, and like the Supreme Friend, not be polluted by the part. Remain sensible and enjoy the stage, enjoy the story, enjoy everyone's part, enjoy the plot, and also enjoy the home of mommy and daddy. Thank you. So if we have limited time, we go for the transmission. And if there are any questions, we will deal with them in the recording.
So thank you. And just one thing, there's one sentence from the Murli, a couple of sentences when you were sharing reminded me, and it was said, even deities adopt bodies. I remain constantly bodiless. I alone have the part in the drama of never taking rebirth. Found it fascinating because it is a part, but a part is not to take rebirth. So when you were sharing, he knows is a point, stable in truth. And the more we can experience, have this relationship, experience the self, true self wakes up, the drama will give the soul, it will like exhibit the best because soul can handle it. So yeah, it's something fascinating. Thank you. Go to Mandaban, experience also with the power of this gathering to bring alive. Om Shanti. Thank you.